Hey folks, Josh Reeves here to remind you that the Global Reality is a 100% publicly funded operation that relies on the monthly support of our listeners for survival. We don't have paid advertisements or commercial sponsors who can ever dictate the content of our work. Donations can be made through PayPal by using my PayPal email address, dayglow76@yahoo.com. That's dayglow76@yahoo.com. Or on the Cash App by using the cash tag Reeves Radio. All lowercase, one word, Reeves Radio on the Cash App. You can also purchase all of my work in my download store with all the films, audiobooks, and presentations I have made. And purchasing these items also helps us survive. You can also purchase a membership for the show and access years of archived shows. Support true grassroots media and activism, not beholden to commercial sponsors. We can't survive without you, so show your support today.
Since 2007, one man has dared to expose the sinister power players on all sides of the phony political spectrum. Armed with over 30 years of research knowledge of the paranormal, government conspiracies, geopolitics, secret and ancient societies, the esoteric arts, and much more. One man's quest for knowledge has become a mission for the enlightenment of all people. Broadcasting from the conspiracy ground zero of Dallas, Texas, this is The Global Reality with your host, Josh Reeves.
Yes, indeed. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the broadcast. I'm your host, Josh Reeves. It is Friday, August 18th, 2023. I've returned for another edition of the show. I've got a ton of news. I've got stuff piling up. I'm going to try to get through as much as I can. Certainly won't be able to get through all of it, but I'll try to burn through as much as I can tonight. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm doing better than I was last night, I'll tell you that, but we're still short on our goal for the week, folks, and they're going to be turning my internet and more importantly, my power off on Monday. And so we've got to raise $170. I'm sorry, $130. $130 total before Monday, so between now and like Sunday night. And I don't know when you're going to be listening to this. Maybe you listen to it quickly, maybe you listen to it in a few days, whenever you are, please, guys. It was 110 degrees today. I walked outside at 9:45 p.m. and it was 98 degrees still, and I could feel heat radiating from the sky on my face like the sun was out. I've never felt that in my entire life. Yeah. I mean, we're in a solar maximum. Again, they can sit there and blame it on climate change and, burning coal and driving Hummers and fucking SUVs all they want. The fact of the matter is, solar maximums change the climate on Earth at a more rapid pace than anything man can do in a way shorter amount of time. I mean, it's unbelievable. And listen, folks, I don't want to be in the fucking heat, die heat stroke. After it took me every penny to scrape back, and listen. You have no idea what I've been through. Especially the last 2 months in a row, but $130 is what we've got to have, guys. Otherwise, it's not going to matter that I was able to save the ship and not go in there and save the studio and save my gear. It's not going to matter because I'm going to be fucking dead. At least I got to have a meal today. First time, I don't know, over a week. I mean, literally, I wasn't joking when I said I was living on peanuts. I was literally eating fucking peanuts I got from the grocery store brand peanuts I was eating. I'm not kidding you. So at least I got to have a meal today, and my tooth issue I was talking about yesterday is no longer an issue. I'm glad for that. Yeah, I should be clear about that. I was thinking about that last night after I got off the show. I was thinking, I should probably explain that whole situation so I don't just seem like a total fucking... I mean, I am a dirtbag, but maybe I don't want to seem like a total fucking dirtbag, complete and utter piece of shit. I brush my teeth, I take care of my teeth. This had nothing to do with rot. Nothing to do with rot. I have all my bottom teeth. All my bottom teeth are there, but I'm missing a lot of teeth up top. Because back in 2014, it's just like a freak accident thing happened, but I didn't find out what the cause of it was till like, I think 2018, 2019, maybe, something like that. But back in 2014, my sister and my now brother-in-law and I, we used to share a place together, and they had this huge, like 125-pound dog. It was like a pit lab mix type thing. He was huge. I love that dog. He passed away, but he was such a good dog. But anyway, he was laying by the front door one day, wanted to go outside when I woke up, and I opened my door to my bedroom, and I came out, and he got so excited to see me because he loved me, and he jumped up on me, and with all his force, man, he fucking left, right, like Mike Tyson comboed me with a fucking right hook, bam, right in the fucking pie hole, right in the mouth, as hard as he could. It was an accident. He didn't mean to do it. He's just excited. And oh my God, man, I thought my front teeth were busted out then, because it bled for over an hour, and it felt like my teeth were knocked out. It hurt. It was one of the worst pains I've ever had. It hurt so bad, and bled, and bled, and bled, and just wouldn't stop. Finally, the bleeding stopped, and my teeth weren't busted out, and then it stopped hurting, so I didn't think anything of it. And then a couple of years later, I started getting these terrible pains in my mouth, not anywhere near where he hit me, like in my back teeth and stuff, and it would go away and come back, and I went to a dentist, and the dentist was like, you don't have cavities. There's no rot, you don't have cavities. Well, I don't know. So I was like, okay, whatever. So I had my teeth cleaned or whatever. And then I noticed that I had these like stains on the front of my front teeth. I'd never had stains before. Like I said, I mean, I do brush my teeth. I'm not a complete animal. I'm a partial fucking animal, of course, but I'm not a complete fucking dirtbag animal. So the pain and stuff came back. It was almost unbearable. It was in 2018. Some of you that listen may even remember me talking about having dental issues then. So I went to the dentist and got the x-rays done again, and again they were like, well, you don't have any rot, you don't have cavities. I'm like, well, can you please, I was frustrated at that point. I was like, can you fucking just please find out what this is? Because I'm in extreme pain. If I don't have, cavities or rot or anything, then we need to figure out what's going on here. So they took the x-rays to another dentist or something, I don't remember, and then they were like, okay, did you get into an accident or a fight or something at some point? I'm like, no. I was like, I was in a head-on collision in 1995 when I was 18 years old. But that was, my head hit the steering wheel. I had a concussion. It had nothing to do with my mouth or my teeth. They were like, no, it would have been way more recent than that. So I'm like, no, I haven't. And they were like, well, at some point, something traumatic happened to your mouth. You got hit something, and all of your front teeth are dead. I'm like, dead? What are you talking about, dead? How could my teeth be dead? They were like, well, those, what you thought were stains on your teeth, that's not stains. That's just because there's no blood getting to your teeth. All your front teeth are dead. They're just hanging there because they're not rotten. So they're just basically hanging in place, but you're not, they're dead. And I was like, well, what do we do about that then? And they're like, well, we can pull them at $400 a tooth, and we can replace them with implants at $3,000 a tooth. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? I don't have 10, 15 grand to spend on fucking teeth. Are you kidding me? Took every penny I could scrape, $500 just to come in here for you to tell me this bullshit. It's got to be something else. I'm like, well, you can just wait until they fall out eventually. You'll have to get dentures eventually. Or we can pull them all and give you dentures. That's $4,000 for dentures. I'm like, Doc, I don't have fucking $4,000 to spend on fucking teeth. I'm sorry. There's got to be something else we can do here. And like, well, you can just pull them $400 a tooth to pull. And then, you can get dentures or whatever eventually when you can afford it, or implants when you can afford it. I'm like, I don't see that day happening anytime soon unless I hit the fucking lottery, or, it's got to be something else from there. He's like, no, it's not really anything else we can do. So that's what I opted for. I opted just for them to, eventually fall out, and that's what's happened. I just want to be clear about that so people know that my dental issues are not from neglect or being some disgusting dirtbag who doesn't brush his teeth and floss and all that stuff. Or I have a lot of dental treatments I do. But what was funny last night when that tooth came out, it was loose. Yes, it was been loose for a while. It's been just hanging there. But I didn't want to pull it because that's not good if it's not totally loose. But it was catching on my bottom teeth, and it was causing me pain. It was affecting my sleep and stuff. And then finally last night it came out, and if I showed it to you, you'd laugh. It's a complete, perfect, intact tooth. It was just hanging there. Because, again, it was dead. So, yeah, all my front teeth and most of my teeth on the left-hand side are all gone. I have most of my teeth on the right-hand side on the top. I have all the ones on the bottom. So, yeah, I'm putting it out there to the universe. If anybody has dental hookups or, hookups with dentures and like that, hook a brother up, globalrealityshow@gmail.com, please. I'm going to have to, I could probably go maybe another year or so, but I'm going to have top dentures sooner than later. Which, I kind of always knew that was inevitability. Both sets of grandparents all had dentures, and my dad even had dentures before he passed away. So I'm not worried about that. And it was just the pain I was in, and dental pain more than anything else affects your mind, man, and that's not good for me. You know what I mean? My mind is my arguably my greatest asset. So there you go. But yeah, if I showed you this tooth, you'd be like, oh my God. Because that's how all the teeth that I'm missing, that's how they all came out. I come out and I look at it, I'm like, Jesus Christ, it looks like somebody may as well have just hit me in the mouth and knocked my tooth out, because that's what it looks like. It's a perfectly intact tooth with no rot, no decay, no cavities, nothing on it. That's just where I'm at because of this freak. Literally, I had no idea. It hurt so bad and bled forever, when I got hit in the mouth with a dog, but I would never have thought that he killed all of my front teeth. Completely just killed them. So that's where I'm at. But again, I'm feeling better today because I got a meal and that tooth is out. So I'm definitely feeling better than I was yesterday. Oh God, I just got reminded myself of something. The only other time I've bled that much from my mouth was when I was 6 years old. I was in first grade. Oh shit, I forgot about this. They'd probably try to hem somebody up for fucking child abuse these days for this. It was just another one of those freak accident things that happened. So I had a loose tooth, a baby tooth, when I was in first grade. And it was, it's the same thing. It was hanging there, wouldn't come out or whatever. And my dad was like, "Here, let me grab it. I'll yank that sucker out." So my dad yanks the tooth out, and it was bleeding like a stuck pig, and it hurt like a motherfucker. It's like, goddamn, baby teeth aren't supposed to, even as a 6-year-old kid, I was like, I didn't think baby teeth were supposed to hurt like that. And so I was like in the bathroom, washing my mouth out and all that stuff, and it kept bleeding and bleeding and bleeding. And then I kind of flicked my tongue over my teeth, and I realized the baby tooth that he was supposed to pull was still there. Dude, he yanked one of my unloose teeth out of my mouth instead of the one that was loose on accident. Yeah. Jesus fucking Christ. Way to go, Dad. Yeah, that shit hurt like a motherfucker. But not nearly as much as the dog fucking Mike Tyson and me with the fucking 1-2 combo who did that shit. Bled and bled and bled and hurt. But I would have never thought, it would have killed my fucking teeth. I mean, killed them. They were dead. I've never even heard that. I've heard of people having dead teeth before, but, anyway, I just wanted to explain that because I didn't want to be, this fucking guy could brush his teeth, call him the yuck mouth, because don't brush. Remember that? Saturday morning cartoons. Oh, man. But, yeah. But I am feeling much better today since that perfectly unrotten, no cavity tooth came out of my head. You would never think that a tooth that had no rot on it, no cavities on it, could hurt like that. But it did. It was hurting so bad. It comes out last night. I just started laughing. I'm like, this is like that dream, those dreams you have where you're looking in the mirror and your teeth fall out. It's like that. What the fuck, man? Like, look at this thing. If you showed this to a dentist would probably be like, what the fuck? What caused that? But you can see it has some discoloration to it because it was, it was dead. It wasn't getting blood flow to it for who knows how long. I mean, it's 2014, almost 10 years. So, yeah, there you go. But like I said, guys, I don't think I can survive with no air conditioning and 110, 112 degrees. It's going to be worse next week. Like it hasn't already been bad. It's always hot in Texas. I mean, what are we talking about here? But it's particularly worse this year because of the solar maximum, not because of fucking climate change and all that horse shit. So, dayglow76 at yahoo.com, on PayPal, and Reeves Radio on the Cash App. Please, folks. I gotta have $130 in here by Sunday night. No later than Sunday night, because they're gonna be shutting it off Monday morning. Okay. This is serious red alert here. Buy downloads, extend your membership, whatever. Just please. At least I got to have one meal out of this last night or today. I feel better. So, let's get into the news now. Oh my God! Can you believe? Well, that's a rhetorical question. Yes, you can believe. Otherwise, you wouldn't be listening to this show. But it's a rhetorical question. Can you believe they're fucking pushing COVID again? Oh my God. I saw people wearing masks today. And I'm hearing of people getting it. They're really going to try to run COVID on us again. Can you fucking believe this shit? I think it's going to blow up in their face this time. I don't think it's going to work. Really what this is Pfizer trying to get their fourth quarter earnings up because their earnings have been down because they haven't been selling as much, and they're trying to keep the shareholders happy. That's what they're trying to do. So this is they're gonna push this until the end of the year. You can guarantee, and then it'll probably taper off around the first of next year. But they're definitely gonna try to get their fourth quarter shares up, and once you learn, it's one of the things that really I had to learn years ago, because it really comes in handy when you're tracking some of these different operations and things that they're doing. It does come in handy to know business and stuff and know about, fourth quarter earnings and all that stuff. That's what they're trying to do. Pfizer's trying to get the vaccine, get people to get vaccinated and boosted and all this shit so they can get their fourth quarter earnings up, because it's been slow. It's tapered off since all the hysteria about the vaccines ended and stuff. But I think if they try lockdowns or any of that shit again, it's going to blow up in their face. People are just not, thankfully, people are still fucking dumb. Don't get me wrong, but people are not as dumb. Well, maybe that's not true either. What I mean is, there are a lot more people now that know we got sold a bill of goods on the whole COVID thing and the lockdowns than there were in 2020. And even liberals and stuff. I mean, there are a lot of liberals who will do anything their liberal overlords tell them to do, that are aware they got sold a bill of goods and regret getting the vaccine and all that stuff. So, I don't think this is going to work again. But they're trying it, and people are getting it. And I saw people wearing masks. Like, really? I mean, we knew even at the time masks weren't effective, but that's come out in spades since then, that they're not, they don't work, they're not effective. And it's even come out that, like, something like wearing an N95 mask more than like 6 hours a day or something like that is bad for you because it cuts off air. I mean, Jesus Christ, they're really going to try to run this again. Or they are running it again. It's no try. They are. Fucking Club of Rome. Tell you, that's why my new film is timely and right on time. Because there's no question about it that the Club of Rome absolutely is behind COVID. There's no question about it. If you look at their, depopulation agenda and how they've talked openly about using pandemics, they talked about that, folks. Like in the 70s and shit. They talked about using pandemics and how pandemics could aid them in their overpopulation, save the environment agenda. I mean, give me a fucking break. Do you need any more evidence other than that? We have a group that's comprised of, right-wing villains like, well, they're not right-wingers, but I mean villains to the right wing, like George Soros and fucking Bill Gates and all those guys. So if you haven't seen my new film, it's called Climate of Fear. It's about the Club of Rome. It's not a long, drawn-out film. It's only about an hour. It's a great weapon for you to use, just like the one before it was, Safe but Deadly, the DDT Myth Exposed. Both of those are great weapons for you to use to show to people who are reluctant to come on board with this information. I had a different, I had different intentions with this film than I normally do, because normally I'm trying to, bring you something like Spellcasters and, Lost Secrets of Ancient America, stuff like that. Maybe, there hadn't been films about and people don't know a lot about. That wasn't my intention with this. I knew going into this, people already know about the Club of Rome. That wasn't my intention. My intention was to give you a nice, compact little package. It's not, not a time investment to watch, that you can show to someone and go, look. Look, here it is, 1972. They're cooking up this plan, this, ancient-ass computer. 1978, they're telling us about the new ice age is coming, and 2 years later, here's Walter Cronkite telling us the Earth's getting hotter. We just got told we're heading into an ice age. I mean, and then on and on and on, all the stuff with chemtrails too, and all that's in there. Again, if you haven't seen Climate of Fear yet, please get a copy, folks. And, if you haven't seen all 5 of the documentaries I've put out this year so far, definitely get I have the class of 2023 collection on sale in the download store. Instead of, buying those films individually, you can get this. It's $50 for HD and $60 for 4K. And you get all 5 of the films I've made this year in one pack. Balls, Sports, and the Mafia in America. One True God, The Unholy Trinity, about Jovulon and the Freemasons. Spellcasters, Volume 4. Safe but Deadly, The DDT Myth Exposed, and the newest one, Climate of Fear, The Club of Rome. So, and I'm working on number 6 right now, baby. But I got to have electricity and internet and food not to die. So $130, guys. We got to have this no later than Sunday night, please. Dago76 at yahoo.com, PayPal, Reeves Radio, all lowercase, one word, Cash App, and just buy some downloads. Buy $40, $50 worth of downloads. Please. U.S. CDC tracks new lineage of virus that causes COVID. Oh, really? A new lineage, huh? Where'd you trace that to? Porton Down Bioweapons Facility in England? Or maybe the one in Fort Detrick, Maryland, outside D.C., where Lyme disease came from? Please, do tell. Where did you trace these origins to? The U.S. Center for Disease Control and Prevention said on Thursday it was tracking a new highly mutated lineage of the virus that causes COVID-19. The lineage was named BA286 and has been detected in the United States, Denmark, and Israel. Well, of course. Wow. Now go look up how many pharmaceutical companies are in the United States, Denmark, and Israel. You want a good laugh? There you go. Oh, fuck. You motherfuckers. See, I remember saying this over 10 years ago on the show that eventually what was going to happen was that they were going to overplay their hand and they're going to expose themselves in broad daylight and people are going to wake up to it and there's going to be a revolution by morning. This is where we're heading. It's not all bad. I know it's easy. Believe me, I do. I know it's easy to get bogged down in the gloom and doom of all this stuff, But listen, folks, they're severely overplaying their hand because they still think they got away with COVID. That's the mindset they're operating under. They still think they got away with it and they got away scot-free and they pulled one over on us and we're dumb and we're going to fall for it again. That's what they're still operating under. They have no idea that a lot of people, really, seriously, a lot of people, including, like I said, pinko commie lefty liberals, have woken up and know they got sold a bill of goods on vaccines and lockdowns and all this stuff. People are not going to do it again. People are not going to do it again. I almost hope, even though I don't, but I almost hope they try this shit again. Just to watch it blow up in their fucking face. You hear me, you fucks? I know you listen in on me. Send this one to your bosses. Play this one back as red flag content to your bosses for me, okay? You motherfuckers are going to fuck up and it's going to blow up in your face like a bad 4th of July firework if you try this shit again. Because people are not going to buy it twice. They bought it once. Can't really fault people for that because we have never really gone through something like this. So, I believe people get a pass for falling for it the first time. You fall for it a second time, you ain't get no pass, Bubba. No. Fool me once, fool me twice, that whole thing. But, no, I don't think this is going to work a second time. They're going to try it. They're sure as fuck going to try it. As we learn more about BA 286, catchy name. Boy, they love those catchy names, don't they? Rolls right off the tongue. BA286. CDC's advice on protecting yourself from COVID-19 remains the same. Yeah, get vaccinated and you'll be fine, even though the vaccine does nothing for the treatment at all. They never have offered any sort of advice on treatment. Just get the vaccine, get the vaccine, get the vaccine. And of course, the vaccine does nothing for the treatment. And then when people do use things that treat it, like ivermectin and other things, then they get criticized and everything else. The World Health Organization earlier on Thursday said in a post on X, I keep forgetting Twitter is called X now. Sometimes I'll see that, what the fuck, it's like, oh yeah, forgot. They said in a post on X that it had classified BA286 as a variant under monitoring due to the larger number of mutations it carries. The World Health Organization said that so far, a few sequences of the variant have been reported in a handful of countries. Well, there's people here locally in Dallas. I'm already hearing about people getting COVID and stuff again. So, yeah, they're definitely trying it. Definitely gonna try it. An entirely new ecosystem just appeared under the ocean floor. Turns out the caves and tunnels underneath geothermal vents are teeming with life. Yeah, I mean, I've said that a million times. I mean, we know more about other galaxies and distant universes now than we do about the deepest parts of the oceans on our own planet. I mean, talk about outer space. I mean, outer space is here. This new AI technology could give you almost telepathic communication abilities. Oh, great. Listen, all I got is my thoughts. You know, if I don't got my thoughts, what else do I have, really? And I'm not really interested in anything that may give anyone the ability to know my thoughts. You know? Listen, with the thoughts I want you to know about, I'll tell you. And I'll definitely overshare sometimes. I mean, I'm fully aware and okay to admit that. But this thing where, you know, like, oh, we're going to just get the neural link and then we can, look, I like analog communication, you know, mouth to mouth. That's fine with me. Texting is okay too. I don't really like talking on the phone anyway, so, but this crap where, I mean, listen, there is no necessity for telepathic communication that is technology based other than for them to read your mind. You ever, I mean, they've been using mind reading tech, even like with Facebook and stuff, for a few years now. You ever been thinking about something? Not even talking about it. That's old tech. That's, you know, that's old stuff. I remember that happening in 2008 before I even had a cell phone. I needed a new mattress, and boy, I need a new mattress, and then for the next week I got nothing but mattress ads. Yeah, that's old school content-specific advertising. For the past couple of years on Facebook, they've been using, look it up, type Facebook mind-reading tech, and you'll see the articles when they talk about using it. I've had it happen. I'll be thinking about some product. One day, I need to get cat food. It's a couple of years ago. And then all these cat food ads start popping up. Generative AI may end up revolutionizing all kinds of industries and technologies over the next few years. And one company is convinced that it will allow people to communicate using only their minds. Unibel is a digital translation company that helps make speaking different languages, whether, what's it say? That helps parties speaking different languages, whether companies, customers, and others communicate clearly with one another. For the last 4 years, they've been working on a side project, a non-intrusive wearable that can send texts based on your thoughts. By pairing it with advanced generative AI released earlier this year, OpenAI, that is wearable, dubbed Halo, is now becoming a reality. Hard pass. Yeah, hard pass on that. No thanks. You can keep your fucking generative AI, Halo, mind-reading tech. No thanks. Because what are we all just supposed to just assume that these same companies like fucking Zuckerberg and Musk, who readily and regularly give user data to government entities, what we're supposed to just think and trust these motherfuckers and think they won't use this technology for some malevolent fucking usage? Come on. Give me a fucking break. Just the fact that again, but this is what's going to ultimately end up being their undoing, is that they're so arrogant and they still think that we're all as stupid as we used to be. Now, again, granted, a lot of people still are as stupid as they used to be, but not everybody. And there's a lot more people awake and aware to these type of things, even though they may not be awake and aware to the deeper elements of stuff we talk about here. They are a lot more aware that they got sold a bill of goods on COVID and lockdowns and all the rest of that stuff. They're going to try it. They're definitely going to try it. And I, for one, can't wait to sit back and watch it blow up in their face. Bradley Cooper accused of Jew face over fake nose in upcoming movie. Really? Really? Are we going there now? Outrage over somebody doing blackface 20 years ago or 30 years ago or whatever wasn't enough. Now we're going to go after people wearing fake noses in movies. That's been a part of, since the vaudeville days. Remember the old big nose gag? Groucho Marx and all that? I mean, they used to sell those, in like the novelty aisles and stuff. They call it the big nose gag. Had like a little pair of glasses and like a big fake nose and mustache on. You put it on. I mean, give me a fucking break. What, you can't have a gigantic fucking Jew nose if you're portraying a character with a gigantic fucking Jew nose in real life in a movie? Are we really going to do that now? What's next? Chewbacca is offensive to people who are hairy? Oh no, we can't wear a Chewbacca outfit. That's offensive to people who have naturally a lot of hair, I mean, give me a fucking break here. You ever see that movie, Nothing But Trouble? Dan Aykroyd, Chevy Chase, you ever see that? Check out Dan Aykroyd's nose in that. The judge, he plays the judge. He's got a dick nose. It's literally a penis on the end of his fucking face. Tupac is in that. He's dancing in the background with Digital Underground in that movie. Jew face, huh? Listen, I personally, and I know what people would probably say to this, especially those social justice warrior woke types, but I've never been offended by blackface. Oh, of course you're not. You're a fucking white man. Of course you're not. Of course you think it's funny. You're white. You're a straight white male. Well, it has nothing to do with that. Listen, I believe it is, at least in the United States, it's a constitutional right to parody. I've just never seen, of course, if someone's wearing blackface and they're, being hateful, yeah. Well, yeah, of course that's bad. Nobody needs anyone to tell them that's bad. If someone's wearing blackface and being offensive to black people, of course that's wrong. But I don't think someone wearing blackface as a costume, in the context of a costume, playing a role or something, I just don't see how that's offensive. It's just been a part, again, since the vaudeville days, it's been a part of, it's theater, it's acting, it's whatever. And this is just stupid. This is nitpicking, and I think they've just run out of shit. So now they're going to Jew face. I mean, come on. Who is it that he's playing again? Actor Bradley Cooper is facing backlash for his appearance while portraying famed composer Leonard Bernstein. Oh, fuck. I mean, yeah. Leonard Bernstein had a fucking Jew nose. Let's just come right out with it. I mean, if he didn't, people would be like, Bradley Cooper looks nothing like Leonard Bernstein. No, he doesn't. He's a good-looking guy. He doesn't look anything like fucking Leonard Bernstein, Jewy Jewenstein. Leonard Bernstein, great composer. He had a big fucking Jew schnoz on him. There's nothing wrong with portraying a person and wearing a costume that makes you look like the person you're portraying. Did I really just have to explain that out in words in the year 2023? This is crazy. But we're quibbling over costumes now in movies where people are in a fantasy fictionalizing a person that lived. So it's now wrong. Really? It's wrong to wear a costume to make yourself look like a person you're portraying in real life actually looked. Okay. I mean, this is the ninth circle of fucking hell right here. Give me a fucking break. But yeah, I think blackface is it's fucking hilarious. I mean, my God, look at fucking Robert Downey Jr. and fucking Tropic Thunder. Are you kidding me? That was one of the fucking funniest things ever. Oh my God, that was fucking hilarious. But I don't see how that's racist at all. Again, if you're wearing blackface and going, I don't take care of my kids and I eat fried chicken and I take welfare checks. If you're being offensive and wearing blackface and, saying stuff like that, yes, that's wrong. Okay. No one needs anyone to tell them that. We all know that. Thank you. But, all the rest of this stuff, Jew face and all the rest, come on. I think if you take offense to Bradley Cooper wearing a big nose portraying Leonard Bernstein, you call it Jew face, I think you are a fucking Jew face. Oh, man. Yeah, I think I talked about this the other night. The triple now they're talking about, let's have a triple demic. We're going to have the triple demic now. Give me a fucking break. It's all about trying to get people to get those boosters going into the fall so they can get their fourth quarter profits up. I know. What else we got? Scientists surprised by DNA in worms that control host brains. Oh, really? So DNA-based mind control now, huh? Oh, they're already fucking looking into that. The boys in the white lab coats at DARPA definitely already got to be working on that, right? For years, researchers have known about a species of parasitic critters called hairworms that can mind control their hosts by hijacking their cognitive functions. Jesus Christ. I mean, like nature wasn't already terrifying enough. Now what? Now we gotta worry about mind control worms on top of everything else? Fuck, if the mind control technology don't get you, the mind control worms will, huh? Fucking A. Geologists have discovered why the Indian Ocean has a 20 million year old gravity hole. What? A gravity hole that's 20 million years old? Yeah, do tell. I'd like to know that too. I'm telling you guys, I mean, again, like I said earlier, you know, we talk about exploring space. We ought to be exploring our own fucking planet. Inside, under the oceans, everything. That's really where outer space is. And probably, in my opinion, the most likely source for actual, what people would call extraterrestrials. Portals under the earth and all that stuff. The ocean ever-changing as it is always chock full of darkness and mystery. But one unexplainable phenomenon, a giant gravity hole in the middle of the Indian Ocean, might just have an explanation after all. The gravity hole known as the Indian Ocean Geoid Low isn't actually a hole, but a region where gravity is lower than average. See, that's very anomalous. I mean, what could even cause that? That water level is 340 feet lower than the surrounding area. The dip, which starts just off India's southern tip, spans 12 or 1.2 million square miles. While the massive gravity hole was first discovered back in 1948 by a Dutch geophysicist, surveying gravity, it has boggled scientists until now. Finally, researchers in India have new revelations about how the anomaly came to be. The researchers say the hole was formed when plumes of low-density magma rose up from the Earth's mantle. Those plumes were created by the remains of a sunken tectonic plate called Tethys, which was lost when India and Asia collided 50 million years ago. That collision was no small happening. It was the biggest continental collision in Earth's history and contributed to the creation of the Himalayan mountain range. Wildly, it's still the cause of geological tension that leads to several earthquakes every year. Interesting. So it would seem to me that gravity is very much affected. I've thought this for a while. Probably people know more about this than me. I don't know. I've never looked it up, but I've thought about that. Probably magma and lava and all that stuff within the earth play a role in gravity itself. Wouldn't that stand to reason? Pretty interesting. Invisible barrier that runs through Indonesia finally explained by scientists. Researchers now understand why there is an uneven distribution of animal species on the other side of this mysterious boundary known as the Wallace Line. The long-standing puzzle of gigantic evolutionary lines has been solved more than 160 years after the boundary was first drawn up. The confusing line, which is both imaginary and real. Imagine using that phrase in a scientific article from livescience.com. It's both imaginary and real, huh? Can you imagine if I went on this show and called something and said something like, well, chemtrails, they're both imaginary and real. People will be like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? It's either one or the other, Bubba. It's either imaginary or it's real. In what fucking alternate universe can anything be both imaginary and real at the same time? Please do tell. I really want to know. I'm chomping at the bit to know. That's fucking hilarious. The confusing line, which is both imaginary and real, arose millions of years ago after a continental collision triggered extreme climate change that impacted the species on each side of the line in different ways. Oh my God, no. Oh, they didn't just say that, did they? That's heresy. Oh my God, that's a cardinal sin. You cannot ever say that anything that causes climate change could be natural. No, climate change only happens from mankind's impact. That's why we have to kill off 90% of the humans on Earth and make Earth go back to its natural state. Give me a fucking break. Mysterious 2,500-year-old skeletons found in Israel's Negev desert. The tomb was located at the crossroads of two trading routes and far away from any ancient settlements. Well, yeah. Those are probably some of those ones like we were talking about the other day they found in China. Those, those like, Anunnaki beta test humans. You know, the ones they tried out that didn't work out. Archaeologists were digging ahead of planned construction in Israel's Negev desert when they came across several human-made piles of stone they thought were piles of tumuli, mounds of earth used in the Bronze Age burials that are frequently found in the area. They quickly realized they were wrong. They kept digging. As we kept digging, we understood this is not something so common, but something from a later period and much larger. Yeah, it was mass burials of those early human models that they fucking scrapped and sent to the fucking junkyard. That's what all these are, folks, and it's crazy because I was reading about these in Sumerian texts, not Zechariah Sitchin books. I never read any of his books until I read those on air, fucking 2009, 2010, whenever that was. But it talks about how there were, several generations of these humans before they actually got it right. So it makes sense that we would find those buried and find the remains of those, and they would be unexplainable to us as far as evolution goes. Of course. I mean, here's another one. Ancient human outsider species pinpointed in oldest genetic study yet. I mean, this is undoubtedly exactly that. You can even see the skull they show. You can tell it's different. And it looks really like, it looks like a chimp crossed with a human skull. It really does. Researchers have managed the incredible feat of predicting genetic relationships between some of the earliest hominins to live on planet Earth, using more than some proteins scrapped from 2 million year old fossilized teeth. So yeah, again and again they're finding these, early, what I call early beta test humans. We're still beta testing that. Those were that was it. Well, let's end this show tonight on a upbeat, positive note, shall we? AI expert. I think we're all going to die. Wow. Tell us how you really feel there, buddy. Just come the fuck right out with it, huh? Good as dead. There's no shortage of AI doomsday scenarios to go around. So here's another. AI expert who pretty bluntly forecasts that technology will spell the death of us all. Reported by Bloomberg News. This time, it's not a so-called godfather of AI sounding the alarm bell, or that other AI godfather. Is there a committee that decides all these things? But a controversial AI theorist and provocateur who has previously called for bombing machine learning data centers. Now that's over the top. Come on. Again, listen. To be honest with you, they've had AI systems that have been running the show since at least 2001. So we're talking 22 years. Supposedly 9/11 was the first thing where they turned over control of, of an operation to a machine. Supposedly the planes were all flown and operated fly-by-wire by machines. Crashed in Shanksville, the fucking Pentagon, all that stuff. If it was a cruise missile, the Pentagon, who knows? But essentially, from what I understand, all of that. Look into the Caesar supercomputer systems. I mean, those were around, they had those. They've had those for over 20 years. I found an old show the other day, I think from 2013, 2014 or something maybe, where I talk about this stuff. I'm going to post that on my YouTube channel. Listen, that's the real story here. We have already been being run by AI computers for over 20 years. I mean, like I was talking about last night, in the early 80s, remember, we were already, by 1982, we were already getting inundated with the machines are taking over movies and, everything. I mean, Tron was 1982. I saw it at the movies with my dad when it came out. It's still one of my favorite movies of all time. But I mean, you had an AI supercomputer in that fucking movie called, the MCP, the Master Control Program. Remember that when he's in the office with Ed Dillinger, the guy at MCP? Not an OCP was the company. MCP was the computer, but he was like the head of that company that created the Master Control Program. He had that fucking desk, which I still want to this day. I wanted that when I was like a little kid so bad. It was obviously fake at the time, but it's like a glass desk where in the computer screen is the top part of the desk. Remember he tells him, he's like, you wouldn't want me to read up this on the front page of the Times, and it like shows him an image of like a Photoshop thing with like his face on it, and it says that he did some crime. And that was 1982, folks. It was before the internet. And somehow this computer like cooked this thing up. It's unbelievable that we've known for this long. It's been coming. Supposedly, like, they've been using the Pentagon, the DOD and stuff, they've been using these AI systems for decades to try and determine things like societal movements, if what color shoes will be popular next spring, stuff like that. I mean, again, I don't think we should not at all be concerned about technology and stuff right now, but really, at the state of what we're being given right now, I don't think we should worry about it. I mean, it's not great. It's essentially the 2020s equivalent of the Tamagotchi from the 90s. Remember those? Remember those Tamagotchis? Those little low-tech, little digital like toys that were like pets, and like if you didn't feed it or something to take care of it, it would die. That's essentially what AI that we get, like AI and all that stuff now. They've got the good, high-level, scary shit. But we're not getting that. And they've had it for decades. And really, it's been running the show since way before the smartphone era. So what I'm saying is, just like the other story we read, there is a lot of scaremongering going on. The stuff that I'm worried about is the stuff they're telling us that we shouldn't be worried about, like neural implants and mind-reading tech and all that stuff. That's what concerns me. Not the stuff that's out there now. The stuff that they tell us, just like I've said for years, whatever they tell you to worry about, you should just chill the fuck out on and not even worry about it at all. The stuff they tell you, it's cool, we got this, don't worry, that's the stuff you'll worry about. That's the stuff you go, okay, nope, I'm worried now. Just like when they said the 2020 election was the most safe and secure election we have ever had. And Biden got more votes than Obama. Oh, fucking A, yeah, right. As soon as they said that, this is actually the most fraud-free and safe and secure election there's ever been in the history of the world. Okay, then that's right when you knew they were lying. That's the moment I personally went, okay, they definitely stole that election. This was safe and secure election. No, not only was there zero fraud, it was the most safe and secure one we've ever had. And yes, Biden got more votes than Obama and got more votes than any candidate in the history of the world. Okay. Oh my fuck, it's so fucking funny. But not at the same time. Anyway, listen, guys, I'm going to get out of here. But again, we got to raise $130 by Sunday night, no later. And again, don't think that somebody else is going to do it. 20, 30, 40 bucks. Just put in anything you can. You can't put in the whole 130. Obviously, if you can put in like 100, put in 100. That would help more than anything. You'd be a lifesaver. But just buy downloads, re-up your membership, do something. Okay? We'll see you next time. Take care. Folks, it's Josh Reeves here. And if you need an affordable custom designed video advertisement for your work or small business that you can use to promote what you do on YouTube or social media, send me an email at globalrealityshow@gmail.com with the details today for a quote. All projects include music, graphics, and professional voiceovers to help bring attention to your endeavors. Just send an email to globalrealityshow@gmail.com with a subject line custom video and let me know what you need today. I can also provide audio mastering services for your music project or album. Again, that's globalrealityshow@gmail.com for all your audio and video needs.